Hey guys, Frank here, and I am recording. So I'm coming in for a no flap landing on the C-152 um, with a high approach speed, and I bounced it a little bit. Could have did a little better. Okay, and let's take back off. So the main purpose of this video is to show you guys a plugin that I recently installed. Now the plugin is ARCAL or PAL, PAL. ARCAL is, um, shucks, gotta look it up. ARCAL, aircraft see, Arc, aircraft radio control Aerodrome light, I think. I think that's right. Let's see, ARCAL. Uh, don't see it there. Oh, okay. Aircraft radio control of aerodrome light. Aerodrome. Can you believe that term? But I guess since they use aircraft, they didn't want to use that term twice. Who knows? Anyway, to make a long story short or a short story long, that the plugin allows me to turn off lights at a given airport manually with my yoke or some other device, be it my keyboard or something. But I now have control over airport lights because, as we all know, uh, Class D generally don't leave the lights on at the airports all night long. They may run the beacon, but not the runway and taxiway lights. Now, in all fairness, I think this only applies to the runway lights. I have just turned off runway lights. I've just left Lake Ridge, uh, and I turned the lights on to fly out to RDU, do a touch and go, which you just saw, and now I'm on my way back to Lake Ridge. Problem is, I don't exactly know where Lake Ridge is at. I do know that this is Interstate 85, and it's somewhere I think in this darkened area here, because the runway is just off Interstate 85. In order to turn the lights off and on, I have to be on that Unicom or CTAP frequency, um, and I couldn't remember what that frequency is. It's either 122.7 or 122.8. But the airport light was not automatically in the database, so I added it manually and I made it 122.8. Okay, I think I see the airport here, and it looks like the lights are on, um, and they should go off automatically after 15 minutes, but that may not be the airport. I'm actually looking for a beacon. This, so I don't see an airport beacon, but those could very well pass for airport runway lights, which, like I said, they should be on. Um, well, they just went off, um, so I think that was the end of my 15 minutes. So now I should be able to turn them back on to land. All right. So I'm gonna point my nose directly at where I think the runway is at and turn the lights on. Okay. And they just popped on. So it is working. So I'm pointing with my finger. So these are my runway lights. And they will burn for the next 15 minutes. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now, after I land, I'm going to show you the script and show you how to configure it. It may be a YouTube video out here somewhere that shows this information, but I didn't see it. So let's do it now. Let's make sure that I got on the airplane lights, and I do. Got on I do have on and I'm not doing any base turns. I'm not entering the pattern the way I should, or turning on any shucks, I lost that train of thought. But what I do know is that I do want to land between these lights, and I'm going strictly by eye. I don't even think I set my altimeter, so I can't really use it. And I'm all the way back to idle, coming over the trees here, down to 65. And that was a pretty terrible landing, but I didn't get stable. So, what can you expect? All right. And let's just stop here. Okay, so let's drag this guy over here and make it so you can see it. Okay, and got an itch right here in my ear. All right, so what I did is I just did a search for ARCAL, I'm sorry, ARCAL, and I actually used DuckDuckGo. I suppose that many of you guys would use Google. So archive, um, and airport, ARCAL airport, and let's go with Google again. Google isn't my default light. Okay, so you can find it that way just by Googling it, and then you can go to forumsexplain.org, or you can just go directly to explain.org and search for ARCAL there. It's probably quicker to just search ARCAL here, which would bring up which will bring it up in the first result. So yeah, it's probably quicker to get it that way. Okay, and then you want to download this file. Now this file is a Lua file. So you can download it to your Explain files, or you can download it directly into your Lua script, which in my case, into your Explain Lua script folder, which is always going to be um, where your Explain folder is at. Explain. And then, of course, you want to go to resources and plugins. Look for plugins under resources. And then if you've got the FlywithLua script installed, which is a plugin, if not, then that would be a prerequisite. But you want to make sure that FlywithLua is installed, and go into FlywithLua and then go into scripts, and you can just save it right here up under resources, plugins, FlywithLua scripts. Okay. Once you get it downloaded, then there's a couple things that you'll want to do. Okay. You'll want to edit it. Now I use a program called Notepad++, but you can just as easily use Notepad. Um, and if you use Notepad, then it may look a little differently. But any airports, there's a large database of U.S. airports, and if the airports that you want to control lights is not there, you can add it. So let's say I don't know if KTTA or Raleigh Executive is in this list or not. So, and this is my first time searching for it. So what I can do is go to search, find, and I can look for KTTA and see if it's in there. And apparently it is. It's right here, KTTA. So what is another airport? Probably, I know I did a flight not too long ago, and I went to an airport that I was unfamiliar with. It's a really small airport that may not be in there. Let's see, let's get this back to, let's get this back to the top here. Okay, so suffice it to say that 8 NC8 or Lake Ridge, which is a little grassy strip in my hometown, was not in this database. Now, there are the countries that support airport lighting are Canada, USA, and Australia. So by default, most of the airports in those three countries are already included. Um, the Lake Ridge Airport, ANCA, I could have put into the USA, but just for convenience, I decided to put it here up under other, OTH. Now, let me go back here and download this file again, save file, because I want to put it in a different location, and I'm going to put it in my Xplane files. This is generally where I download everything. All right, and I want to go to that file location, and as you can see, it's a Lua file, and I want to edit it. Okay, so by default, this is the way it's going to come. And to add, should find a database. To add a file, I need to know two things: the ICAO code and the CTAF or the CTAF code. So it's not really it's not really a Unicom code. It's more of a CTAF code, but in a lot of airports, Unicom and CTAF are used interchangeably, but technically they're different frequencies. Okay, and so I could just look up here and see what the format is. So it's gonna be open bracket and then not colon, gee, what are these things called? Apostrophe 8NC 8. Close that apostrophe and close that bracket, equal, and the frequency in quotes, quote 122.800. And I think just looking at the format of all the other frequencies, I think I want to make sure that I stick with a 6-digit frequency. So I don't want to put 1280. I want to make sure that I don't want to put 122.800. I want to make sure I put 122.800. And I don't want to put the decimal in. I don't want to put 122.80 or anything like that. Okay, so now I need to close this apostrophe, and I think I am done. Now, if I had another one to put in, I would do the same thing and separate it with a comma. But since I only have this one, then I'm gonna leave it there. And 1, 2. Now let me review, and I got 8NC star. So I need to make that star at 8, and I can save that, and I am done. So I could update my airport list this way. All right. Um, so let me get out of here and just close up all this stuff. Okay. And there's one more thing that I need to do in order to get it to work. Okay. So in X-Plane, I need to define the push to talk key. So I use push to talk for Pilot Edge. I use push to talk for VATSIM. So I decided that whenever I wanted to use my push to talk key on the yoke, I don't necessarily want to use the same push to talk key that I use for Pilot Edge, because if I spun in at, say, Oceana L52 and I want to turn the lights on, I don't want to connect or disconnect from Pilot Edge if I'm using Pilot Edge or not. Okay, so I'm gonna go here and search for ARCAL, and I already got mine set up. ARCAL, and there's ARCAL, and I bound my push to talk key to the letter X because I'm never gonna turn the smoke off and on, which by default X-Plane uses the letter X to turn smoke off and on. So I bound it to X, and then I hit done. Okay, so apparently my talk didn't take 15 minutes because my lights are still on. But if they were not, then then I would have to turn them on manually. So I am going to reload the aircraft, and I believe I can skip the art, and it's gonna spun in without the lights on. At least it did the last time. Dum 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 dum. Okay, so I won't quit my day job and hum. I can't hum, let alone sing. But I feel the need to use this dead space CPL, which I call a mission generator. Other folks call it generator. But anyway, it gives you a reason to fly, and it kind of gamify, explain a little bit. Okay, so the airplane did restart, and lo and behold, I can't see a thing, so I need to turn some lights on. I should bind this flashlight to something. Okay, so let's turn on these lights here. That's the carb heat. That's not gonna do it. All right. Let's see. I think, yeah, the engine is running. I thought that was the lights here. Uh, why is it not? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So got those on. I can turn this light here off, and I'm gonna turn off my lights, and there you can see that I don't have any lights on. So now I'm gonna turn them on with my yoke, and I do have a issue with my yoke, but there you go. And the instructions say that depending on the type lights that you put in, some will require 5 clicks and others will require 7 clicks. I think if you use the 7 click convention, then you can change the intensity. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good script. One that I have been suggesting for XP, and I'm glad that somebody pointed this script out to me, because now I get to control the airport lights at night and don't have to, just add just that much realism to my flying. Anyway, since I don't want to drag this video on, and I do value your time, I am going to say sayonara. All right, guys. Hope you found this useful.